Okay, in this video, we are going to go over some of the design details in this template for auto. So first you'll notice that I have all the materials lined up here. First we have the chapter title. Well, here's the week, and then the chapter title, and then the chapter that they're supposed to read. And this is a direct link that'll take them directly to the chapter they're supposed to be reading. Next, they have these different learning activities, and these are all, everything indented on this section, they're kind of the more passive activities, like reading something or watching a video or experiencing a simulation. And there's the word right here, like usually a verb, which tells them exactly how they're supposed to be interacting with these materials. For example, in learn, polarity changes, it says right here, learn. And then here's the content that they're supposed to be reading and watching. And then we also have the simulation exercises that were provided by the publisher. And these are a direct link. So it'll take them, when they click on it, it takes them directly to where they're supposed to be and interacting with this, with these materials. Also, I do have, notice how I have the chapter, whatever chapter reading they're supposed to do for this week, but also I've put in the navigation bar, they have the entire book here, so they can reference it. They can just click here and they can reference it and find whichever section that they need to find. Anyway, I've also included the study games. And these are just, again, games provided, little interactive games provided by the publisher. And I just put them all on one page just so it would feel less crowded on the menu. So here's a kind of like a
Ampere.
flashcards. And here's their matching. So they can put the whatever they think these are. There's another little Jeopardy game for them to try. Anyway, moving on. So it appears that the auto students, they are to complete workbook assignments. So I've made one using the new quizzes layout. And the reason for this, oh, I've already done it as a student, but that's okay. The reason for this is that these are fewer questions that the instructor has to correct. They're corrected automatically and quickly, like right after the student does it, so they can review these materials. That way we're kind of getting rid of the idea of the students taking a picture or filling out a PDF and uploading it and having the instructor grade each and every one of those questions. And then I created a discussion. As for the discussion area, the topics were taken from the workbook, and the discussion is good because in educational theory, learners absorb more information when they are teaching the content to other people. The current setting for this is that the student must post a reply before seeing other students' replies. This puts the pressure on the learner, the student, to explain the concepts well and then to see the answers later. This also gives the students the opportunity to hear different ways a topic is explained so they can deepen their understanding. So these questions or these topics were taken from the workbook. So the kind of more open-ended questions of the workbook I placed here, and then like the multiple choice and like the inputs, the short answer inputs I put in the workbook assignment. And then also that Otto does these little job sheets. They're supposed to complete these job tasks. And it's the same concept as what I did with the workbook. I just put it in a new quizzes format, and they just have to click done or not done. So in theory, they could have this on their phone or tablet and be completing the job task, whatever they're assigned to do, and they can just click these as they get done completing them. And also, I like this idea of doing the job task digitally, because the student can then upload like different pictures of what they're doing at the time. Like, for example, maybe the student is working on a brake pad, and so they take a picture of what they're currently working on and they can upload it here. And there it is, it's right there. And they can also write description. And they can submit it. And then they can refer back to this job sheet to see what they did. And they have this kind of this digital library of all the things that they've completed over the semester. Okay, and then lastly, one other feature I'd like to show. Let me just rewind back to it. Back to the main page. Okay, so all of these kind of passive activities, there is really no way that that you will know. Like this came to my attention, that when the students complete these passive activities, there's no real way that the instructor nor the student knows that they have completed these, right? Because these are just pages. For example, they read this, do this activity, but there's nothing in the system that keeps track of them completing these. So one way that I've got around this is I've installed this badges page. And in badges, every time the students complete a module, like they've gone through each of the pages, or they've completed the discussion and they've completed the assignments like the job task and the workbook, they will get one of these badges for that week. So again, after the student has gone through each one of the modules and participated with all of those and has turned in the assignments and done the discussion, automatically this program will give them these badges. They're grayed out, so they're not colorful right now, but when the student is awarded them, then they will see that they've gotten these badges. And it's kind of just a neat way for them to complete, just like to keep track of what they've completed. For example, the week 2, they get a week 2 electronics badge. They get a week 3 circuit types badge. They get a week 4 electronic components badge. And then in week 5, there's like a computer systems badge. So yeah, it's kind of a fun way for the students to keep track of what they've completed. Anyway, that's our little tour of this template that I've made. And yeah, so let me know if you have any questions or ideas of how we can expand on this.